So there won't be a cup run for Luton, especially in the League Cup, as we've been beaten in the first round 1-0 by Coventry at their place. In today's video, I'm going to give you my thoughts on the defeat. Let me know down in the video comments your thoughts about the game. Was there any players in the Luton starting 11 that stood out to you? If you didn't know, we did change the starting 11 as expected for this game. So let me know your thoughts and feelings down in the video comments. So how did I view the game? I thought in the first half we done alright. I think if you were a neutral watching this game, you would have found it quite difficult to separate which side was the Championship side and which side was the League One side, in my opinion. I think we actually just about edged it in terms of chances. We did have quite a lot of shots. We were getting into the Coventry box a lot more than what they did. However, in the second half, Coventry did show their quality. They did actually play quite a strong team. Of course, the starting 11 could have been a lot stronger than the team which we did play, but it was still a tough starting 11 and it was a good test for some of our squad players to come up against, I felt. But the second half, Coventry, they came out the better side. They created more clear-cut opportunities. They defended a lot better. They stopped us getting onto the ball as much as we did in the first half. We struggled to break them down. We lacked quality when we needed to show it the most. I thought our decision-making pretty much all game was not good enough. I think we could have done better when we got into the attacking half and got into these right attacking moments, but ultimately, yeah, the quality in that final ball did let us down. The first half, I really felt the likes of Woodrow. I thought he stood out. I thought he got himself about all over the pitch. He did test the goalkeeper. I think that was our only shot on target throughout the game. The other shots were pretty much blocked by the Coventry defenders. I think Fane had a couple of chances himself, but they were blocked by the Coventry players. I think there was a few good movements down on the right-hand side. I thought Kadoa done extremely well for 60 minutes. Considering I haven't seen too much of him, he was definitely a standout for me. We were definitely moving the ball quite nicely, I felt, in the first half. You can definitely tell that the defensive backline, they're not used to playing with each other, because there were a few moments where the pass wasn't quite there, and then Coventry were taking full advantage of that, trying to break us down. They had like some near moments where if they showed a bit of quality in themselves, they could have scored. But ultimately, I didn't think it was a bad first half performance. I've seen a lot of negative feedback online about Nordas and his performance. I think it's quite harsh, if I'm being honest with you. I thought he did link up the play quite well. Yes, his passing was off at times, but he did win quite a lot in the air and he did battle hard. I think what's happening with Nordas is because he didn't have an impact last season in the Championship, and we know the reasons why he didn't hit the ground running, because of the pre-season issue coming from a league that started at a different time and so on. I don't need to keep repeating myself on that. But yeah, because he didn't have that fantastic breakout season like we all thought he was going to, and score goals for us in the Championship, second half of the Championship season, every time he does a mistake or every time he does something that's not, at the same level as certain players within the Luton team, we are instantly shutting him down and being extra critical of him, where I think that's quite harsh. It's clear that he needs more time. It's clear that he needs more time to adapt. The only way he's going to get that is by playing football, but we're not in the position to potentially give him that time. And it's going to be a decision which the football club are going to have to make on him. And I will talk about it a lot more in tomorrow's video, where I break down this game in far more detail about what we should do with Nordas. But I actually didn't think his performance was that bad. Was he the worst player on the pitch? No. Was he the best player on the pitch? No. I thought he just did okay. There were good moments. There were bad moments. He wasn't the only one. But if we're going to talk about a player that I felt absolutely destroyed his opportunity, it's Tom Holmes. He's becoming one of the worst centre-halves I've seen in a Luton shirt. The defending for Coventry's goal was not good enough. The player didn't even have to do much. It wasn't even anything special. Don't get me wrong. I think the player's name was Raphael, and he was Coventry's best player, I felt, throughout the game. He was my man of the match. Everything he did, everything which Coventry did, going forward, came through him. He had that special spark about him. He caused us a few problems in the first half. and he had a massive involvement in Coventry's goal in the second half. He literally didn't do anything special. He just ran past Tom Holmes. And I just don't think if we're going to play the back three, which looks like we are throughout the whole of this, League One season, Tom Holmes can't do it. He's not a back three defender. He's a back four defender. I'm struggling to see how he can play above League One football. I think he's an old-fashioned, I will head everything, I will clear everything, I'll throw my body on the line, but I can't do much other things. And I think when he comes up against a tricky wide player, a tricky midfielder, a striker that's going to cause you all sorts of problems, he's probably the worst centre-half for it. He's not up to the level which I thought we were going to get from him. I saw quite good, positive feedback from Reading fans, but ultimately the system doesn't suit him. And I don't really want to see him again. I thought it was a really poor performance. Yes, I think in the first half he made a key block. But that's his strength in terms of everything else, like the passing and defending against tricky players. He just can't do it. He really lacks the pace. He's very slow. He's not exactly the most mobile defender. That's the word I'm looking for. He ain't mobile enough for me. And I think it's okay if you play for a team like Wimbledon, who we saw recently, that are going to defend. But for a team like us, I don't think he's the right player. And I think we need to get rid of him before the window closed, in my opinion. But yeah, I felt he didn't really make the most of his opportunity. We did have an academy graduate start to make his debut. Chigozie, I think that's how you pronounce his name. He looked okay. Again, I think because the backline they weren't familiar with each other. There were moments where, certain things weren't quite at the right level, which it needed to be, at the right tempo and so on. But I didn't think he looked totally out of place. I think he would get better with more and more, first team experience. I can imagine he is training with the first team. But yeah, I didn't think the first half was bad at all. But the second half, we just didn't do enough. I think the best chance we had came in the second half in the 92nd, 93rd minute by Richards. McGuinness won the first initial contact from the corner, and then Richards was kind of like flirting in front of the goalkeeper, and he got there first, but it went just over the bar. He needed to get that on target. That, for me, was the best chance in the game for us. We didn't test the keeper enough in the second. We lacked quality in the second. The decision-making wasn't great in the second. Yeah, the second half, it let us down a bit. If we replicated the first half, it would have been all right, but we didn't. We kind of dropped our standards a bit in the second. Yes, we did make quite a lot of subs. Bramall only played 45 minutes. That does worry me a little bit. It looked like he also got a knock. I'm not too sure. I haven't seen Matt Bloomfield's interview yet, but he only played 45. I don't have high confidence he's going to start against Bradford this Saturday. But Kadoa, I wouldn't be against him starting this Saturday against Bradford if Walters is out injured. So yeah, that's kind of how I view it. I don't think I'm missing anything else. We're out of the cup. I did mention in my match preview that the league for me is more important, but I would take a cup run if it does happen. We are still in two more cup competitions. We're in the FA Cup and also the EFL trophy between the League One and League Two clubs that compete. So two more cup competitions, still more opportunities for younger players to, cement a first team spot within our team. But yeah, let's not let this defeat hit us too hard. We've got a game on Saturday. Let's continue this really good start, which we've done in the league. And yeah, improve going forward. Let's start getting the goals. Let's start clicking. Let's start showing a bit of quality. I thought Ali didn't have the best of sub appearances. He needs to know when to take the man on and when to put in a decent ball into the box. Once he gets that right, he's going to be some player. So again, he's not the finished article. So lots of learning, lots of developing, and yeah, lots of, hopefully goals once we get clicking in training and so on. But yeah, that's how I view it. Let me know what you think down in the video comments. Smash the like button for me as well. I have a Premier League fantasy league. If you guys want to join my fantasy football league, FPL, I will leave the code down in the video description and also in the video comments for you guys to join the league. So yeah, feel free to join it. I also leave my EFL one down below. Subscribe if you're new. Make sure you smash the like button. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video, which will be the 5 things which we learned about this game against Coventry, when I go into a little bit more detail. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in tomorrow's video.